Florida versus Utah. The preview, this game is coming on obviously on Thursday. Chris, I'll kind of let you jump in here. What are your thoughts on the game?
Utah, I'll talk about them, Christian. There has been this line movement on this game has been nuts the last week. I don't know if you've been paying attention to that or if anybody bets, but I think it's opened at like 8.5 this year, and it was down to 2.5 at one point because they don't know if Cam Rising's playing and or the second quarterback. This game is kind of crazy here. Here's my thing. If Cam Rising plays, I expect him to play. If you guys don't know who Cam Rising is, he is about identical to Max Duggan at TCU last year. He's a tough kid. He's a winner. I love guys like that. He's actually one of my favorite quarterbacks in the country, to be honest with you. And I'm not saying this because I'm hating on Florida. Just if you have never got an opportunity to watch this kid play, he had a terrible leg injury last year. It's kind of plagued his career. I think he's got to be like a fifth-year senior by now. He's played a lot of football. Kid's a hell of a player, though. I'll say that. So if he plays this game, for me, is key for Utah in this game. Utah, to me, is the more physical team. I know that's going to piss the Florida guys off. Florida does have a lot more talent, probably. They probably do recruiting-wise, but a lot of those guys are super young. Utah's a physical team. They've won the Pac-12 the last 2 years, Christian. I swear this team gets no hype. Nobody talks about them. Everybody wants to talk about USC. Everybody wants to talk about Oregon and Bo Nix and even Washington this year with Michael Penix Jr. Hell, even Oregon State, I've seen them higher ranked in the preseason polls than Utah, and it's just amazing to me. This team just gets no love. And I actually, Utah's my favorite Pac-12 team just because they play more physical style brand over there. Yeah. But like I said, if Cam Rising plays this game, that's the big question for me. Utah is going to be able to be more physical, I think, on the offensive side of the ball against, everybody's going to tell me Florida's defense is supposed to be much more improved this year. We've heard that a bunch of times. That's why the spring game looked like shit. And then I'll say this, Christian, I'll probably let you touch a little bit on Florida here since you're the Florida man all the time. But if Cam Rising plays this game, I don't see this game within 14 points. I know that's a bold take, but I don't. I took the points and Utah in this game. I just don't see how this game's close if Cam Rising plays. This is at Utah, by the way, and I do know Florida. That's what you're going to tell me. Florida they beat them in the swamp last year. That's what you're going to tell me.
Yeah, I think that, again, Chris, I mean, you touched on it very, very well there. I think, the biggest thing for Florida that I've got is, can the Gators, they ranked 95th last year in total defense. Are they going to be able to show rapid improvement with new defensive coordinator Austin Armstrong, who's regarded as one of the top assistants in all of college football? Obviously, Nick Saban wanted him, and he was there for, I don't know, a month or whatever, and then he ended up bolting for Florida. Right. But, can they take advantage of what will potentially be a backup quarterback situation? Should Cam Rising not be able to go in this one, right? There's a lot of mystery still shrouded in that right there. The next question we talk about with Florida, Chris, is how's Graham Mertz going to fare in this top 25 matchup, by the way? Obviously, Utah's ranked number 14 in the country. By the way, for Florida fans out there, Mertz has ranked dead last in almost all passing stats against top 25 teams while at Wisconsin. The running game for me, for Florida, they should be good in the running game. I mean, they're really solid. Obviously, they've got two awesome running backs in Etienne and Johnson there. I think they're going to be able to kind of be able to keep running the ball and kind of do that, where they want to against Utah. I don't have any qualms about that. To me, the biggest question mark, obviously, is going to be they've got a new look offensive line, right? A lot of those guys didn't play in the spring game, so it was very different. I think they were struggling to kind of get snaps off. Again, that was because they had a freshman center snapping the ball there at certain parts of the game. But again, how's that offensive line going to hold up against the number 14 team in the country, Utah? They lost some pieces from last year's defense. I get all that. There's some big question marks again throughout this game for me for the Gators. I'm not hating on them. I'm just kind of doing this because obviously we know that Florida can come out and look really good in this game, or they can come out and get more or less the same, but with what we saw last year, Chris. What are your final score predictions for this game?
I think I have something around I'm going to go 35, 20, maybe 21, something like that. I just don't, even if Cam Rising doesn't play, I still think Utah wins this game by 10 or more. I truly do. I just, at home, Utah's a tough place to play. Florida's got to travel there. You said it best. And my thoughts on Graham Mertz. I mean, we've gotten to some debates about this, and I've seen a lot of Graham Mertz at Wisconsin. I don't think Graham Mertz is very good. I think Anthony Richardson was a way better quarterback than Graham Mertz. We're going to find out this year. If I'm Florida, I rely heavily on my running backs, Etienne and those guys. And if their defense is, you said it best, you brought up stat, 90-something last year? I mean, they got to be better. I don't care who the hell's back there for quarterback for Utah this year in this game. Got to be much more improved. So I'm going to say somewhere around a 35-21, maybe a 28-17 type of game. I still think it's even more than that. I just think Utah's offense, if Cam Rising does play, I'll bump that up another touchdown. But Christian, what's your thoughts? And you got to be bold here and give me a prediction here. We don't talk about this game near enough.
Yeah, to me, I look at it like you said. I mean, I got Utah 28, Florida 14. I think that, again, I understand Florida is going to be much more improved. Again, the only thing you can really base this off of is that spring game, right? I think Florida will be better on defense, but again, you got to also put stock into the offense too. I think Florida will probably struggle to move the ball at certain points of this game. I think they'll probably put up a couple touchdowns, even if Cam Rising's not able to go in this one. It's going to be really tough because, I mean, Utah's backup, he played a little bit last year and he didn't look too bad, right? I mean, obviously, I think he was third on the depth chart this year. Their second string guy got hurt too. Mm-hmm. Still, they've got a shot here. Give me Utah on this one.